Alright, so this video is going to cover these three programs, Python programs. Actually, they're not Python, these are going to be C++, but I gave that to my Python class, so either way, it's fine. So I'll change it real quick. So C++ programs with return functions. So the first one says, write a program that calculates the wage for a certain amount of hours worked. Ask the user how many hours a week they worked. A standard work week is 40 hours. The user makes $8 per hour. If the user worked more than 40 hours a week, they earn time and a half for each hour they work over 40 hours. For instance, if the user enters 44 hours and they make $8 an hour, and they would get 40 times 8 because they work 40 hours. That's a standard work week. And then 4 hours would be overtime, so 4 times 12 is 48, and you add them together. Create an if statement that checks if the hours worked is greater than the standard work week. If the hours worked are greater than the standard 40 hours, you will have a certain calculation to figure out the pay. If the hours worked are less than or equal to the standard 40-hour work week, you will need a different calculation to figure out the pay. Okay, so I'm going to create a new project, and I'm going to call it, alright, and I'm going to call this thing I don't know, main overtime hours, or maybe, I don't know, main paycheck. Main paycheck. All right, let's see here. So alright, so we'll have our two variables, hours worked and our hourly wage. What is it? Using namespace. Okay. Then we just ask the user cout how many hours did you work in a week? Hours worked. Next up, what is your hourly wage? Hours, okay, yeah, I gotta fix that. Out, CN, hourly wage. And then what we'll do is we'll do a cout we're going to have a total pay method that will pass in hourly wage and hours worked. And then that will bring back in the, the total pay, okay? So because this is, again, return functions. So we'll have double, do this, and I gotta define my variables that I'm passing in. And then probably gotta put that up top to define that we're going to use that. And I'm going to define some variables up here too for this. So I'm going to say my and my. Call it tope. Try not to define variables at the local level inside the method. I want to do that usually outside of it. So I'll say what my hourly wage equals hourly wage. My hours worked equals hours worked. You know, then if my hours worked is what, greater than 40, meaning they work some overtime, we'll say tote pay is equal to, let me think here, my hours worked minus 40. So that would give us that. So if you did 44 hours, that would be 4 right there. And then probably want to multiply that by my hourly wage times 1.5. So that gives us our time and a half. And then we need to do 40 times my hours worked. And if they work less than 40, we'll just say else tote pay is equal to hours worked times hourly wage. So we put information in, we pass it off. I think this works. Let's try it. So continue to run the. What did it? System cannot specify. Try double expected. Tote pay undeclared. Tote pay. I got it up there. Tote pay. Oops, I think I need to do that. That probably messed it up. All right, let's see what we got now. Total pay. Must return a value. Oh, yeah. Duh. So we say return tote pay, and that gets returned back right here, and so then your total pay. So that should fix it now. I think that's better. So how many hours? So 44, and then what was it, 8? That doesn't look right. How many hours did you work? Because 368 should be the answer. Why is that popping up? That's kind of odd. Okay, so when you get here and it doesn't look like you want it to, then we start playing with it. All right, so right here, see out my hourly wage, see out my hours worked, oh, it's not hours worked, it's 40 times. That's the problem. My hourly wage. I'll do that again if I... I'm going to say my there. There, 368. Okay, cool. All right, so it's kind of good watching me do some debugging and testing. I would have printed that out, but then I looked here and said, oh, that's wrong. So anyway, that's that. That's a pretty easy one. All right, next up, it says use the following information to write a program that asks for an amount of money in American dollars and then prompts the user to select the currency into which the dollars are to be converted. So now these aren't right at all, actually. I think I wrote this program like a decade ago, or at least found the information a decade. So $1 is equal to 0.7646 euros. A dollar equals 86.95 Japanese yen. $1 equals 6.770 Chinese yuan. $1 equals 1/1200th of an ounce of gold. You can use if-else statements or a switch case statement if you try something new. Okay, cool. So I'm going to call this one, I don't know, currency converter. So, file new. I'll call it main currency converter. Okay, so namespace. All right, what do I want to do here? So we're going to ask the user, we're going to have what? Double US dollars. And we're going to have a string currency. And because we're going to use a string, I want to pound include string. So cout how many dollars do you have to convert? CN US dollars. Cout what currency would you want to convert to? You can type in euro, yen, yuan, or gold. Should change this up and put Bitcoin or, I don't know, Litecoin, Ripple, CN. Let's see here, currency. So while, let's see here, while, now I'm going to make sure they enter in the correct one. They have to enter euro, yen, yuan, or gold. While not currency equal to euro or currency equal to, what's the next one, yen, or currency so while it's not one of those, cout you must enter euro, yen, yuan, or gold. Currency. So that's going to force them to enter in, one of those currencies. And then once we have that, we can just do a cout, I don't know, currency converter. US dollars and currency that you want to convert to. And there's definitely an error there, which is fine. And we are going to return a string. All right. And excuse me. We are going to have a, let's see here, string converted message. All right, so, and then we'll have a double my US dollars, and what, do a string on my currency. So my US dollars is equal to US dollars. My currency is equal to currency. So if my currency is equal to euro, then we'll have a converted message equal to dollar. Yeah, just put it on one line. All right. And then this one was what, 8.8695 yen. I think gold's like 1,800 an ounce right now, so I'm gonna put 1,800. 1,800 ounces of gold. Gold. return the converted message back, and then we can kind of converted message. Let's try it. So 1,000, so let's say 1,000 to make this easy. If we want to use euro, 1,000 times, okay, so that looks good. Okay, let's do 1,000 and yen. So 86,900. Okay, so that looks fine. We'll do yuan. So at time multiplied by 1,000, 6. Okay, cool. That looks good. And then gold. It would be what, a little more than a ½ ounce. 0 ounces. Let's say 0.0 divided by 0.0 right there, and that converts them into double variables instead of integers. And then we get, you know, a little more than a ½ ounce of gold. Okay. And the only other thing, let's say I try Bitcoin. You must enter, you know, Ethereum, Ripple. No, see, it's gonna forces me to enter in. Okay. All right. Cool. So this one's good. And we'll do one last one. 3. All right. Design and implement an application that reads an integer value representing a year input by the user. The purpose of the program is to determine if the year is a leap year and therefore has 29 days in February in the Gregorian calendar. A year is a leap year if it is divisible by 4, unless it is also divisible by 100, but not 400. For example, the year 2003 is not a leap year, but 2004 is. The year 1900 is not a leap year because it is divisible by 100, but the year 2000 is a leap year. Is a leap year because even though it is divisible by 100, it is also divisible by 400. So these are the checks. So if a year is divisible by 4, it is a leap year if 2 doesn't apply. Okay. If year is divisible by 100, it is not divisible unless 3 applies. Okay, cool. I'm going to pause it because I'm going to sneeze, I think. Alright. So do file, new project. Sorry, I don't have a mouse. I've got like a finger on my mouse pad. Alright, so I don't know, main leap year. So year, cout. Do the same thing on this one where while year is less than 1582, no, I'll just do it in the I'll do the message in the method. So what do we got? String. That's not right. What is it, an int? Include our string. So then we'll have what nope, int my year. Okay. So this is probably the hardest if statement that we'll do in this class, all right? So if, let's see here. If year is divisible by 4, it is a leap year, okay? So if my year modulus 4 is equal to 0, it's a leap year. And we got to check for this other stuff. We've got not, I think, let me see here. If 2 does not apply, if the year is divisible by 100, it is not a leap year unless 3 applies. So if that or that applies, okay? It's not a leap year unless 3 applies. Okay, cool. So not year modulus 100 or and then we'll have string message right there, because we're going to return that, right? Return message. Oh no, 2003 is not a leap year. 2004 is a leap year. What was it? Is not a leap year because it's divisible by 100, but the year But the year 2000 is a leap year because even though it's divisible by 100, it is also divisible by 400. So, see here, 1900. What's going on here? Did I do it wrong? 2000 is a leap year. All right, I figured out what I did wrong. First of all, I need to make these my years. And second of all, I accidentally put that inside there. I don't want that. I want it right here. So like 1600 is a leap year because 1600 modulus 100 is 0, so that's true. So you make that false. So that's false. Or, but you know, 1600 modulus 400, it's 0 because it goes in 4 times with a remainder of 0. So that's true. False or true is true. So you need to have that be true. It's divisible by 4, and it needs to have this side be true. All right. So then, like 1900 modulus 100 is 0. So that's true. So then we make it false. Or, and then we got to check to see, you know, is 1900, how many times does 400 go into 1900? And it goes in 4 point something. What would it be? It'll give you a remainder of not 0. So, you know, false or false would be false. But like 2000 modulus 100 is 0, so that's true. We make it false, but then we got to check to see, you know, 400 goes into 2000 5 times with the remainder of 0, so that's true. So false or true is true. So anyway, that fixes it. I can show you and run it real quick. So 1900, it's not a leap year. 2000 is a leap year. You know, 2003, not a leap year. 2004 is a leap year. So anyway, if I post these, I put the answers down here. Okay, but that's where I messed up. I think I gotta make that not. Okay. So anyway, this video is done. 3 decent, you know, short programs showing you how to do if-else structures with return statements. So this video is done.